I'd like to welcome everybody to another fantastic episode of Behind the Desk, where we do an in-depth with VPs, CEOs, business leaders, innovators, and game changers. Today, we have a very special guest. I'm really excited. So what if the best gym for you was not the one that refused to look like a gym at all? From a backyard setup to Tustin's go-to anti-gym for busy professionals, Coach Greg, the founder of IMpowered Fitness, has built a community where strength, confidence, and longevity matter more than six packs. He's rewriting the rules for adults 50 and older who are tired of feeling invisible in traditional fitness. In this episode, we dig deep into the systems, the struggles, and the surprising role technology could play in the taking and moving of Empowered to the next level. Coach Greg, if you would introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you, sir. That was an amazing introduction. I could not have done better than that. Thank you, sir, for having me. First and foremost, I'm honored to be here. As you mentioned, we are known as the non-gym or the anti-gym. I've realized that our client, as we really focused our clientele, you've got to focus on somebody in the gym world. In Orange County, we're Southern California, Orange County, there's a gym on every corner. What differentiates you? Empowered is all about the whole person. I am powered is how it's spelled, because the words I am is I am. I am strong. I am confident. So it's a state of being, not just a name. So we want to present that when people come in the door. We want to give them an atmosphere they're comfortable, that they're not intimidated, that they feel welcome. So that's the premise of this. So many of our people over 50, this group does not want to be intimidated by the big machines. There are too many teenagers sitting around on cell phones. I don't have time to hang out at the gym for an hour. Who does anymore? So as you mentioned, we're rewriting that whole thing. And 50 is not a decline anymore. So what we say now is strong is not an age, it's a choice. These people are coming in. I had a lady, she just started this week. It was awesome. She's a cancer survivor. She's been here a week. She's like, I already feel stronger. I am so excited to be here. And it's that kind of energy you get from people. They come in the door and they're happy and they're like, why is everybody happy here? It's like they're used to like people walking around the gym, just typical, just all intense and in your way. It's a negative space, not the negative space here. Typically, we don't have many negative people that come in, but if you're negative, you won't last because it doesn't exist here. It doesn't survive here. So we're that. It's a studio, not a gym. So we actually call it that. We don't say, hey, come to the gym, because you say gym, you automatically think big box. All of the negative things come up with the word. You say studio, you think yoga, Pilates, a feel good. It's a feel good word. So using that branding of the word, I mean, we're only 1,900 square feet. So truly it's a studio anyways. And it's personal. This is personal training. People say, wow, this is like single personal training in a small group, because they get the attention, they get the love, they get what they need. It's not just a cookie cutter. As your long answer to that. That's who we are. So that's why we stand out. It's the difference we make with the people, the relationships that we truly build. People say that, but in here you really get it.
Very well put. I couldn't agree more with you. When you get to a gym, you do feel like you're intimidated, especially around those guys and gals that have been there and been, their day, 1,000 and your day one. So to reinvent the way that you're having an outlook on that, just incredible. When someone asks, who is Coach Greg, how do you like to introduce yourself beyond just being a fitness coach?
You know what? I say coach. People say, oh, usually I get, oh, you're a trainer. I am not a trainer. Never have been a trainer. I'm a coach, because a trainer says, here's your workout. A coach is education, motivation, accountability, and tough love. You're going to get what you need. It's part of the relationship. Think of all the people that have played sports that are listening. Think back to your sports days. Who is your person that's always with you? It's always pushing you. It's getting you to the next level. Maybe they're getting you out of your headspace. I got people out of their headspace all the time. So it's not just about a workout. It's like, hey, let's get this straight too. Why the negativity today? Where are you at? Well, I can't do this. I can't doesn't exist here either. Maybe you couldn't when you walked in, but you can now. Oh, my balance is bad. It was yesterday, but it's not today because you're here, because your balance is now getting better because you're here. Reframing words. So coaching is really about the whole person's health. So I'm about making your life better. You come in here to make your life better out there in total. It's not just about the workout. To me is the easy part. That's the easy part. It's getting that person when they leave, they feel good. They feel confident. They feel like they want to come back. They feel like, hey, you got to come here because this is making me such a better person. Come be a better person with me. It's more about that. So it's like it's to me, it's a significance. Here, let's share something personal with you. I figured out a long time ago, you got a born on date and an end date. The middle is the dash. What does your dash mean? To me, my dash is about significance. I want to be significant. You only got so many days. You don't know when they're done, right?
Mhm.
Everybody, when I teach kids, I said, you know what? Everybody leaves in the morning. Not everybody comes home. Let that sit for a second. Not everybody comes home. And that's going to happen every single day. And you don't know who. So when you're here, be significant. Be important to somebody else. Get out of your own way. So my whole thing's about being significant for people. How do we help them in total? Sometimes it's just, hey, just get me fit. Got that. That's an easy one. So it's the whole person thing. That's my person.
I will put a plug in for somebody who made a drastic impact. Very similar to you. His name was Coach Dan Staloot. When I played football, he was our weight training coach, and he took the same approach. It was always, hey, I can see you're in a bad mood. What's going on? Let's get it out in the open and get back to the workout. And it made such a difference that I constantly had a better workout. So I love your approach. And I love the analogy of, you have a start date and an end date. It's the dash in the middle. I've used that many a times in my trainings as directors and leaders of sales groups to motivate and say, what does that represent? That dash means something. It's the most important part of a headstone or your life is that dash. So incredible. So you started with very humble roots and grew up into dedicated studio in Tustin. What were those early days like, and what did you learn from them that still shapes how you coach today?
Great question. I started weight training when I was a teenager. So it's like 78 years ago, because I'm that old. Yeah. But really, way back in the 80s. So old Arnold days, we learned how to lift, but we started studying, not just, doing some curls and this. We started studying things. As I went through school, it was very interesting to me, the physiology and things, but there wasn't that opportunity when I went to college. It was like, get physiology, be a PE teacher. That was not interesting. So I went down the business route first. Always, though, learning, studying on my own, training on my own, doing my own thing. So I have a business degree and all of that. I spent 18 years corporate automotive. So I was Land Rover, Jaguar, North American operations before I jumped off that ship. They actually went there. Yeah, it was, I had a pretty good gig, but I'm Southern California. They're based in New Jersey. Ford sold the divisions. They're like, hey, come to New Jersey. I'm looking out my window. I'm like, wait, what's your weather in Jersey? Not that I'm on Jersey. It's 74 and sunny here. Yeah, I'm not coming. So that was my jump off point in 07. Was my jump off point. It was either take a shot at this full time because I loved it. People were in my office all the time. I'm in a corporate job. They're like, hey, how do I get the guys? How do I get bigger? The girls, I need to fit in a dress. What do I do? I enjoy doing that and realized I'm like, hey, you know what? This is kind of cool. So I started looking at the business end of it more. And right about then also is when boot camp started coming alive. That started to be a thing. I'm like, hey, wait a second. This is kind of cool. So Ford left. They offered voluntary separations because that was where they were. I'm like, hey, stars are lining up. Take that, go start on your own, see how you can do it. You can always go get another job. I got 18 years of corporate automotive. I had middle management. I can get a job. There's a funny story with that though too. But so I jumped off, started boot camps, and I realized back then it was you got to find a niche. Same thing out here. There's a million gyms. There's a million trainers. You got to be different. So I found that women were underserved. They were, and the more you kind of study that, I got mom and married, all that kind of stuff, in also realizing that women at earlier ages are getting older women's onset diseases, cancer earlier, bone issues earlier, things are happening earlier, they're aging faster. Like, that's, but these are still, it's their moms, these are our caretakers. They're running families. Now they're running businesses, they're running PTAs, they're running all of that stuff. Who's taking care of these people? Nobody really was. So that was my focus initially. And because I was older already in my 40s, I'm not like your 24-year-old kid. So I kind of get it. What I learned, what did I learn was, so I learned through the corporate and learned early on is the relationship piece is the piece that matters most. Anybody can deliver a decent workout, but the relationship you build with your people is going to be the sustaining piece. My clients in this business, a lot of times they see, there's like a 6-month turnover of clients, and think mine are years. I had some 6 and 7 years. It's not because my workout they're brilliant, it's because the whole thing works. the place works, the other people works. It's not just me, it's the atmosphere, it's the other stuff. So that relationship building piece is key. So above all, as I learned and stumbled my way through the business part, I kept and made sure that that was still solid. And as that maintained the solidity of the business, that's where it continues to grow from. And it just keeps getting better and better. And example is it's a very anti-gym world, but I don't go long contracts. You're like, yeah, if you stay longer, you get a discount. I'm like, look, here's your pricing. It's very competitive, very value pricing is our set. However, we're month to month, because if our relationship is solid, your results are good, why would you leave? People always, I say that to every single client. They're like, yeah, why would I leave? And then I don't worry about it. That also takes the pressure off of us. I have too many people come in, they're like, well, I can't start for another month because I'm locked into this place, or they charge me fees to get out. I don't do that. I'm not looking for your $3 or $4 extra. I'm looking for you to be here for a long time. I want you to go tell your friends how great this is. Again, it's not just the few dollars. Yes, my family likes to eat in Southern California, is expensive, but it's not just the money. It's the whole thing. And that's worked. People appreciate that you don't have to force them in. They're not locked in. I'm certain I've gotten business because of that. So I'm not going to lie. If you don't like it, you're welcome to leave. We'll give you a hug. And I will almost guarantee you're going to come back. Guys, I say, go try other places. Stop here last. Try everywhere you want. Stop here last. Come in for free. I'll be the last guy on your list. I guarantee.
Let's take it to that person, right? As you're the last stop on the journey that they're looking for. Walk me through, like, what does it actually mean in practice for somebody walking through the doors for the first time?
You know, I ask them, it's all about them. They say, well, how much is it? Like, it doesn't matter how much it is at first. What do you need? What are you looking for? Tell me about you. What have you struggled with in the past? You get people telling their story. Once they open up and tell their story, that brings that barrier down. Now we have a relationship. Immediately we have a relationship because now you're sharing your story with me. So some empathy with the story. Again, I'm not 25, I'm 58. So I always say God's put me through a lot of crap so I can better understand and take care of you. I've hit a lot of branches on the tree on the way down. So, but now we're rising up, which is an amazing thing. So I say, tell me about you. And then I just kind of craft it from there. What did you like or not like about your last training, your exercise, whatever it was? And I listen to them. There's your key. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm letting you sell yourself based on what you're telling me. Well, like I said, the anti-gym came from people telling me I don't like the big gyms. Oh, they come through here. They're like, it's not intimidating in here. There's not big equipment. Ooh, there's not too many people. Ooh, and it smells nice and it's clean. That's amazing. So my brain said, this is the anti-gym. I've been doing this since I was 15 years old. I've been to the gym recently with my teenager. Oh man, it is not what it used to be by a long shot, but that's what it is. It's tell me about you. It's about them. I have a program, but it's about you. So I learn from them when they're talking to me. I'm listening. So I just kind of gauge my next piece from that and make it personal. Again, it's got to be personal. You're different than the next person that comes in. You're a guy, maybe a lady. Maybe I've got some older ladies. I got some younger ladies. It says we target over 50 because you got to have a target. And it works really well. But they say, can I come in if I'm 30? Absolutely. People send their teenagers here because they know I'm going to take care of them. And when the teenagers come into Coach Greg's place, they know they put your stuff down and it's go time. So they come in, the teenagers are usually going, can I go home now? Am I done, coach? Am I done? Which is kind of funny, but it's a business. You come in here, you get your business taken care of, but it's, like I said, it's a good atmosphere and positive. So coming in for that experience it's learning the client, learning the customer. How can I help you? So it's the how can I help you attitude. If you're my right person, then yeah, you're going to sign up. If you're not sure, try it for free. It's no skin off. I want you to try it for free because I want you to be here. I want you to want to be here. I don't need to force you to be here because if I force you to be here, you're probably going to leave anyways. So if you go, you know what, this is kind of cool. Yeah, I want to try it. I'm not sure. Come on in, try it. No. So I take the pressure off because you don't need it.
I love that. And I love the fact that you have such a personal approach to the personal training, both in office. I know there's a digital portion to this. You're really changing the face of what people feel membership could be like at a gym. What are some of the biggest headaches that you still feel week to week, whether it's, the the scheduling, the follow-up with leads, or is it keeping member consistency engaged? Like, what's your biggest headache right now?
Right now, it's a sort of a good headache. We went from struggling to get leads. We'll talk about some AI stuff in a minute, but some different marketing programs that had some AIs with them wasn't doing what I really liked it to do, because you could probably tell I like to control a conversation, or not control it, at least follow it. Okay, let's call it control the conversation. Controlling the conversation. Yes, if you want to schedule, hey, are you available at this time? The answer, if it's business hours, is always yes. Not, oh, gee, I don't have that time. It's always yes. But the biggest headache right now is our lead machine is working so well. It's the follow-up. We have Facebook ads out there, and it's the ad directed to that 50-year-old person. It's the emotional piece of it. It's getting them to realize, hey, life's not over. You need to stop waiting for yourself. Your kids are going to be fine for 30 minutes without you. They need you. So you need to stop looking in the mirror going, ew, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. So let's get this all fixed with this. So there's a lot of, that's a quick summary, but you get the idea of it, but that's generating so many leads. So getting through the good ones and the junk ones and all of that. I just hired a part-time gal just because we have a funnel. So just someone got a lead magnet. Our best lead magnet is our info packet. It's like, hey, here's who we are. Here's how we can benefit you. So you get a lot of information in the beginning. It's not a secret. It's not a mystery. Here it is. Again, here it is. If it works for you, come and try it. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. Go somewhere else. I'm okay with that. But it's proven to be really good. But getting on that, and then because the funnel comes down, but you got to put a warm voice on that funnel. It's a text and an email, It's not AI, but it's text and email. It's because it's set in there. But the warm phone call, okay, if you left a message, you got to get another message and another message. So there's like, oh, yeah, I was going to call you. That takes time. And the busier I'm getting, which is great. We turn, which you and I spoke a little bit at the beginning of this, we turned the corner this year. I've been in this spot for a year and 3 months. And the end of this year was the turning point where all of a sudden we won the best fitness in Tustin award through the Tustin Chamber of Commerce, voted by the people in the community, which was awesome.
Awesome.
And to do that in a year is like fantastic. She said you won by a landslide too, which was even better because we put the effort into it too. We asked our people, hey, can you help us out? They're like, heck yeah. That's when your community is good as well. They don't hesitate to help you out. But that through them, I said, this is our group award. This is not ours. This is our group award. But getting that and then putting all those pieces together and really refining the 50 strong that you mentioned, the 50 plus, refining that's our group. Those are our people. And focusing in on them has blown this thing up. That was the turning point to, like we talked about, like, boom, the switch went on. This is it. We're going to push this because nobody's really hitting it the right way. I'm going to say, not that people are wrong, but like I said, reframing your mindset, reframing your energy, reframing how I don't work out like I did when I was 20. I would kill myself right now if I worked out like that. I work out different. I'm 58. I'm in better shape at 58 right now. I'm lighter, leaner than I have been since I was probably like in my early 30s. It's fantastic.
So you alluded to it, which I know every business has, right? What is the one bottleneck? And I want to see if it's the same answer, right? The one bottleneck in your business right now that's quietly costing you money.
It's the consistency of the follow-up. It's the maintaining either the daily follow-up or the every other day, the phone call part of the follow-up. The text and the emails is nice, but it's the phone call, warm voice part of the follow-up. So you can ring someone's phone and say, hey, still thinking about you. How are you? Checking in kind of thing. It's that piece. And it's staying up on that. So it's like, oh crap, a week's gone by since we called that person. It can't be the week. It's got to be, one day, not, I say, politely persistent. I tell my son, when you got to follow up with somebody, be politely persistent. You're not annoying, like, hey, where are you? It's, hey, just checking in. How are you doing? It's how you word it, how you say it, but they just know you're thinking about them. So it's that kind of persistence.
It's a lot of touch points. I know that the statistics somewhere falls, and I won't be quoted on this for anybody out there. But I think it's between 5 to 10 touch points before somebody actually says, like, commits, right? They're like, oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, absolutely. I'll pick that phone and call up. So
sure.
Very, very important to make sure you're having that personal touch.
Yeah.
What are the most repetitive tasks that you and your team do? Emails, check-ins, reminders, progress tracking, onboarding, that are important, but feel like they drag energy away from you, your team, your coaching, the one-on-one care. What are those repetitive tasks?
I think it would be mostly within that same lead follow-up piece. It's critical, but it's still there. You just got to keep climbing the mountain. And like I said, it's a beautiful problem to have, because I came out of December, there was 100 people in my new lead bucket. I'm like, holy crap. I got to all of those. I got to get phone calls on. We went out, I went away for a week and all that. I was picking off the easier ones that were replying, hey, I'm interested. I'll grab that one, because I don't want to make a bunch of phone calls while I'm on vacation, because I'm not really on vacation.
Yeah.
But that was prior to me having somebody make those phone calls for me. So it's a part-time person at this point. That's really all I needed to do that. But still, that just climbing that mountain and staying on it is the biggest thing. It's always just the follow-up, I think. And not letting anybody in a truly personal space, is not letting anybody fall through the crack with whatever somebody needs. I told a lady I would send her a program, I think yesterday, and I hadn't sent it. It's today. It's one day. She's like, oh, I didn't get that program you're going to send me. I'm like, let me do it right now. I have a travel and away program, just so you can follow along, 15 workouts, whatever, at home. I said, hey, let me just throw this to you. It's the bonus stuff. I got to travel. What do I do? I got you covered. Really? Yes. You're not going to miss me, because it's me on film with somebody else. You're going to hear me. You're going to see it, and you're getting coached. It's not an aerobics program. It's not me doing jumping jacks following along. You're going to get coached. So, but just remembering to do all of those little things, all of those little tasks, and keeping it personal and keeping up with that stuff is truly the biggest piece.
Okay. I know, and you said, we'll touch on it, which I'm going to pull up now, but there's new technology, and I'm only bringing it because you said it, but like AI is really changing the landscape of what you do, and a lot of people in your position and businesses, from personal care to products to concierge type style medicine and things like that. If you had an assistant that never sleeps and utilizing a tool like that, right? Because I know you said you do it, but and that person could handle things like member check-ins, right? Habit reminders, personalization, basic programs at scale. Where would a tool like that immediately relieve pressure for you and your team?
Oh, I think it's. I hate to keep going back to the sales process, but it seems to be that. And once they get here in the door, I like the warm bodies. I mean, my whole goal is to get you in my door. I say my gal gets paid. I'll tell you how we do this. She makes the phone calls. She makes the minimum, but her goal is to get somebody to book an appointment and show up. Booking is one thing. Showing up is another thing. Yeah. So once they show up, she gets bonus for everybody that shows up. So she's incentivized for that. But it's getting them to the point. Because once you get in my door, I'm like 90% close. Because if you come into this place, you're already thinking that this is what you need. Here, maybe here, this is what you need. Now, whether you pull the trigger or not, it's up to you. You might be, that's where we get the personal conversation, is somebody's stuck, but I got to get there with them. So it's getting to me to have the conversation, or one of my other people that's qualified for that, but getting to that conversation. So it's an AI that can generate that kind of conversation to get them in the door is what really matters. So it's getting them in the door.
And what are you doing currently in the market via advertising, marketing? I know you kind of said funnels, and I'm sure that's through a platform like Facebook to target those audiences. How are you really driving those personal touches to get people in the door, outside of maybe somebody picking up the phone and making that phone call for you?
The social media, obviously, we got to just have a presence. I don't count on social media. Some people are like, oh, my Instagram's not getting me any business. I never thought of it like that. I always thought of it as, hey, people need to see that we exist. They need to see that it's something fun, that maybe they were where they want to be. So maybe I'm missing something there for selling there. But again, being as personal as this is, it's not selling a widget or a product. So all of the social media points, I do networking, I do speaking, all of those things. So when I walk into it, my whole goal is to walk into a room and someone goes, oh, either, oh, I've been there. Oh, I know who he is. Or, oh, I've heard of your place. That's the goal. It's like somebody knows who we are in or around our realm, our city realm. But it's through that, exactly that. I've been in 4 or 5 different networking groups. Like I said, I'm involved actually with the city awards. We do community programs here. We're due right now for a police officers appreciation breakfast. Fantastic. Best thing ever. City Hall is 2 blocks from here. We hosted breakfast. We have breakfast burritos and coffee, and you got to have donuts because it's the police officers. These guys all come in, they're all jacked and fit. But we open it up to the whole morning shift. We had 40 officers stop here. They're all in the parking lot. They're in there hanging out. It was awesome. But it's just stuff that shows we're part of the community. And people go, oh, what are they doing there now? We're about to have another sushi class. We had a sushi making class here, and we give proceeds to charity.
Oh, awesome.
I'm a board of directors. She owns a sushi restaurant. She's like, I'll teach people how to, and everybody had so dang much fun. Like, when are we doing that again? We just implemented a salsa dance. We have some fitness dancing, but the salsa dance something out of the ordinary. But we have our stable base stuff, but it's things to pull people in from that maybe you wouldn't have pulled in, that they're not just fitness people, but they come in, they go, oh, this is different. Oh, like, because when we clean the dance floor, my studio's kind of long, but we can pull all the equipment off the floor so it's open. Like, wait, where's all this stuff? Oh, it's right there. That's all the stuff that we use. I got a big weight rack. I mean, if you come in, I got you covered. But it's community. It's outreach that's not everybody's doing. We don't sit in our little hole and hope people come. I'm out talking to people. My local Starbucks knows who I am. When we say, hey, we got an event coming, they're like, we got you covered. You're sponsored. Thank you. Like I said, I had a nonprofit, the youth nonprofit. So we do stuff that we support the nonprofit. It's teaching kids. It's creating young men and women of characters, the program that runs there, because kids need that these days. Courtesy, manners, golden rule, those things. So although it's not specifically fitness related, it's still personal health, leadership, and character development related. All about the empoweredness of the person. So that's a long answer, but all of those things are what it takes to get through the noise out here.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of personal touch and a lot of personal engagement to bring and drive people into the studio.
Yeah, it is. It's people want to see it. And I'm certain that most of the people in the networking groups don't know who I am. They don't know my name. But I walk in, it's like cheers. They're like, hey, coach is here. It's the brand. Coaching for me is a brand, because when you just told me about your coach, you're never going to forget that guy. No. But and then you'll remember him as coach. Yeah. So that every coach to most people has a good connotation to it as well. And like you said, it's an all-encompassing thing, somebody that helped you in life. So that's what it's really all about. So I don't care if you know my name or not. I don't give two hoots. But I walk in the doors, coach, and then somebody will go, coach, what do you do? I said, oh, I coach people over 50 to learn how to live their best lives ever, learn how life's not over. Life is now just beginning for you. If you change that mindset, it's just beginning. Let's live it strong and hard. So but it's like you said, personal touch. You got to get out. You got to be out there.
So where do you feel friction between the high touch coaching you want to deliver, right, and the realities of time and staffing and running the business side of the studio?
I think it's about time for an extra Coach Greg. It's time to duplicate me. That's the biggest thing is we're still new. I still need to be here most of the time. I do have another trainer that comes in. She does some other stuff too. So we've got to match schedules. She's amazing. Everybody loves her. We always call her, we kind of chuckle because she's like, I'm the female version of you. I said, yes, you are. It's like my little sister. And it's amazing to have somebody like that, because I can know that I say, hey, can you cover? She's like, I got it. And I can walk away knowing 100% the place is covered, the people are covered, everything's good to go. So just having somebody else here to really, balance that out. So it's not just sitting on my shoulders, which that's how you go from working in the business to on the business. So I'm at the edge of breaking that plane to be there.
Do you ever see yourself in a position to be more digital, where we can send you on 1 million downloads a month versus 100 clients a day coming into the studio?
Yes, I think so. I've done online either fitness before, I've had programs before. So yeah, are you thinking product wise, or like online fitness, or all the above?
Personally, I kind of think of it all the above. There's so many YouTube guys out there. And they're free downloads, but it's not really personalized. And I really think there's a huge niche for somebody like yourself that offers this one-on-one personal coach development with an implementation process that could actually provide that. Now, again, I know there's apps but sometimes they just don't hit home like a lot of times you feel they should. So
Yeah, I subscribe. Oh, I'm sorry. I subscribe to apps periodically because I want to see what they're doing. I'm doing my own homework. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. This sounds great. What is it? And a lot of it's like you said, sometimes it's like kind of follow this. If you're here, follow this guy, kind of follow this guy. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see the videos, and it's almost every one of them is me coaching somebody through a workout. I have one gal that did most of my modeling, but I'm coaching her. So if you trained here, you're going to hear the same cues on the video as you hear here. You're going to say, put your leg here, move your leg. Less intense is this, more intense is that. So you are getting coached on my videos. So along your point, I've already leaned that direction, but just not blown up with it. Do I like to blow that up? Absolutely. That would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's take a look. I know we've got some issues today. Can't fix everything today, right? Even though we'd love to.
Yes.
Let's take a look at yourself in the future here, right? Maybe 1, 3, 5 years from now. Let's just start with one, right? 1 year from now, when you look around your studio and your community, what would make you say, okay, we leveled up this year?
I would say obviously being solid in the black, starting to look for that next location. Where are we going to now open our second IMpowered? The model's good. The systems are set because you got to have the systems. So model's good. Systems are set. It's running smoothly. Smoothly is always relative, but it's running smoothly. We're comfortable enough that, hey, you know what? This can now be scaled up to another location. So that's my vision is 1, 2, 3 of these things probably would be great. In Orange County, there's people only travel so far because 5 miles could be 20 minutes in traffic because it just depends on the time of the day and where you're located. But to put one in another city that's similar demographic that works is the goal is to branch out. But again, to have it so in a year from now, I want to have systems set, be way in the black, be saving up for that next spot and know, okay, we know exactly what we're looking for. We know how many staff we need. We know how to implement this, turn the lights on, build it out, go. And then just poof, we already know our people. We're established like you said, we're established in that 50 plus community. They know who we are. And right now, I think that's starting to happen out here. They're like, okay, we've heard about you. And that comes up sometimes. Oh, I've heard of your place. You have. People, I'm scared of people. I'm like, really? Where did you hear about it? Could be a friend. It could be, oh, I've driven by your place. I need to come in. But we're getting on people's minds. And somebody a couple of days ago, twice in a row, they're like, man, you pop up in my feed every dang day. Fantastic. That's where I want to be.
Yeah.
And so it's just becoming that. So becoming the person, the go-to space for that 50 plus. Other companies saying, hey, so I have a corporate division too, say, hey, we've got this population of people. We want you to come in and either speak leadership or speak fitness or help our people be healthy and wellness in the corporate space as well. So continue to branch that out, but really be solid in that 50 plus community. We know who we are now. We know who we serve. And now it's to grow that and be the go-to for that.
I really feel a sense of wovenness, that's the correct word, into the community and the fabric of who they are. I think that would be really cool, like you said, to be able to, and I'm going to utilize the AI, right? Copy paste you into another city to have the same kind of framework and foundation. And I love that aspect. Again, so many places are missing that.
Yeah.
That personal touch and that integration into the communities, which it's just it's neat, right? So let me ask you this: if 5 years from now, right, if IMpowered is a case study for other studios and they're learning from what you do and hopefully saying awesome things about you, what do you think they say about how you serve the demographic of 50 plus and change the way fitness is delivered to them?
They're going to say that we can, no matter where the AI goes, no matter where the technology, how amazing all of that stuff becomes, it's still personal. You still feel like there's a place where you belong, where you're welcomed, where you're motivated, because the human emotions are never going away, no matter how good technology is. In as much, like I said, I got a teenager. These kids, man, they're just halftime checked out. But it's checking people back in. You walk in here, you put your phone away. And nobody on cell phones in here because you're talking, you're experiencing. It's a place where all of that other stuff disappears for at least 30 to 45 minutes. It disappears. You check out, you just walk in, you're like, although you're training, you still take a breath. So IMpowered still maintains the personal in the personal training. And that has been, I've had that comment over and over. You still have the personal in the personal training. And that's what I want it to be. It's no matter where everything else goes, we're still about the people.
As it should be. As it should be.
Yeah.
As you grow and in your expansion and all, everything you want to do over the next, 1, 3, and 5 year horizon, what personal role do you want to keep for yourself versus release and let go and let the business run?
Great question. I've been manifesting more of being on your show, but manifesting big stage. I realized a couple years ago that I could speak on stage. I learned, it just came this funny story. I've done through the nonprofit, speaking to kids groups. Man, you can keep a group of teenagers engaged, you got something going. So, I have my own techniques. And then one of the local mayors said, hey, I've got this big event going. Can you speak and warm this up? It's a leadership thing for youth. I said, great, Mayor. What do you want me to speak on? She looks at me and goes, just do your thing. I'm like, ching, ching, that the mayor trusts me enough to come in and start her event with whatever I choose. I'm like, wow, okay, that's power. I'm not an ego guy, but that was a powerful message. Say, wow, she's trusting enough that I can go in, and I had guys in there that were professionals and this and that. Like, dude, that was solid. Because I speak with the people. I don't speak to them, I speak with them. It's always engagement. So even if I'm in a big room in an auditorium, there's still engagement. So my whole thing is taking this where I can get to a bigger stage, where I can be speaking to those 50 large, Tony Robbins, man, thousands of people, but they're older, but they're all in the, you're fading away, you're losing it. No, man, you're not. And then let's get you the tools that you need. It's not just a raw thing, but some real tools that you can use in your daily life to become like, wait a minute. Yeah, I want to be 20 again at 50. Well, you can be the 20-year-old, the 50-year-old version of a 20-year-old. There's what I'm thinking. So you be that. Who says you can't be that? Society, who cares what they say? You choose to be that. It's a choice. So I want to be bigger stage. Yes, I still want to be amongst the people and doing my thing, but be out there touching more people, speaking to larger groups, making back to the significance, being a greater significance to more people.
Love it. Which I think is just so important. And that's such a cool goal to want to obtain and be that Tony Robbins, as you said, and have that ability. And those people don't have the ability to speak in public forums in large groups. And you can very much see that you've done this every day for a very long time.
My wife told me once, as I started going, I came back from an event and I said, wow, I'm getting better at this public speaking thing. She looks at me and goes, you're stupid. Like, what? She said, you're stupid. What? I'm like, what do you mean I'm stupid? She said, you need to see yourself speak. Because I was always told, here's a message to anybody that was ever told they were small and they weren't good enough and all that. Ignore those people, because that's how I was told. And I really, there's always stay in the box, be safe, be here, just comfortable here. That was somebody else's comfortable. That wasn't mine. It took me to about midlife till I realized, damn, I don't belong in a box. And the more I'm out of the box and doing my thing, it's hard. It's a challenge. It is not easy by any means. But when you figure out where you're kind of supposed to go, it gives you the energy to go. And I realized that that's part of my being out of the box. I got to speak to a leadership group, Chamber of Commerce in Irvine. It's like the second largest in California. I'm not in the chamber anymore, but I was in the chamber, but they knew who I was and they could speak. Like, we're having this leadership summit. We want you to lead a breakout group. Okay, thanks. Me, the CEO, and some other high-level lady. I'm like, man, I'm in there with the CEO. And again, it's me trying to, I have my own space. I got to hey, someone's like, dude, you're Coach Greg, freaking get in there and kill it. So I did. And they did the whole thing. Again, I'm not ego, but we went through the thing and I kept it real for these people. We created a one sentence powerful message of who are you? I'm this, I specialize in this, I take care of these people. These people all walked out with something tangible that made them better from that experience. And by doing that, so I got the highest marks of all three of those people of the breakout groups. I'm like, well, that was pretty cool. But part of my thing, again, it's to me too, I got it every day. Remember that who you are, what you can deliver. On the big stage, let's call it, because it's a big stage, because there was beginning, intro managers, middle managers, and then senior managers. These are older people, VPs, CEOs. I'm speaking to these people. I'm thinking, am I qualified for this? And I went in there and I did my thing with these people. And I had a lady come up afterwards. She knew me only in the fitness realm. She's like, I had no idea that you had this. She's like, I'm going to stay in touch with you because I want to bring you to my company because I want you to do this here. I'm like, how awesome is that? So again, it's becoming who you are and owning that space and being that. And again, I'm not an ego guy by any means, but just understanding who you are. That's what my wife, she told me I'm stupid because I didn't realize it. I saw myself speaking. I'm like, it's not bad. Still, I can be better. They can always be better. I'm always looking to improve. Like I said, I'm looking at other people's models. I'm looking at other people's apps. I watch other people speak, not just their message, but how do they speak? How do they engage? What are they doing? I'm trying to learn the AI. It's challenging because there's so many shiny objects.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the next shiny object. And so how to really hone that in for a business my size. I know a lot of them are manufacturing, production, and other kind of things, but how does that work for a business my size? How do we do that? And it's that learning curve. It's challenging, but you got to stay with it. You can't ignore it. Well, me and Chat are buddies. I know Chat's an old thing, but my Chat is super, super trained. I've written 3 books, 2 Amazon bestsellers, and another one that was never meant to be. That's my kid's book. It's Creating Young Men and Women of Character. If you want a copy of my book, just go to IMpoweredFitness.com. At the very top is a free download. My most recent book's called The Empowered Life. I gotten some pretty good comments on that. I've had people read it before they even got here and they go, I'm here because I read your book. I'm like, fantastic. Or, hey, you know what? I just started doing this in my life because I just read your book. Like, fantastic. Again, the significance. I get somebody inspired to do something for themselves, which is amazing. So, but me and Chat, we're buddies. I dumped manuscripts for all 3 of those books in there. I dumped my advertising in there. I dumped all of those things in there. So Chat, in a scary way, really understands who I am. I was working on one project and Chat's like, hey, should we incorporate this and this and this into what you're doing over here? And I'm like, wow, I never thought of that. I'm like, okay, so yeah, you can use it on the simplicity level, but mine were kind of creepy smart, but it's amazing. It's like, hey, Coach Greg.
It's awesome. It really is. The technology that's coming out it's mind-boggling. I agree. I love the suggestions it has. And if I have to, I'm going to step back. I'm going to take a message out that you said about it. It's becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable situations, and that's how you learn. And it's watching yourself, because that's an uncomfortable thing. It's hearing your voice. It's hearing your messages. And that's something that, you made allude that you're talking in front of CEOs and VPs. And that's exactly why we started this podcast, was to have that be more of a comfortable conversation and have this open dialogue where people can just have a voice. And I love it. So I'm going to wrap up with one final question for you here.
Perfect.
Somebody who's new to the niche, right? Who wants to start their own anti-gym out in the market. Give me one thing that they would absolutely feel uncomfortable doing, but it's a necessity. And then give me something that is completely unsexy for them to do in a business, but yet they need to make a habit of today in order to be successful in this niche.
The uncomfortable piece would be getting yourself out in those spaces and talking about what you do in a grand way, without being the ego, but being comfortable talking to people. I've met fitness people that are very uncomfortable and I can't talk to this. Even like you said, the corporate, I'll go into a corporation and talk. I don't care who I'm talking to. If your people need wellness, then I'm your guy. I don't care what your level is. It's because we're bringing that goodness. So you got to remember that you're bringing a high value. As long as you're bringing the value, bring it and support it and be passionate about it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Your passion will bleed through. So as uncomfortable as it may be to stand up in front of people and speak, learn how. Get uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable. Don't keep criticizing yourself. Just tell the stories, tell why you're there, connect with people. That's it. It's the whole people thing. It's the people thing. But some people don't have that comfort level. My family's learned if I start talking, they just walk away. And I will fix you later because he's talking to somebody. But I wasn't always like that. So get comfortable being uncomfortable on stage. Find a stage to talk on. There's plenty of them. Find one. Just do it. Nobody's going to criticize you because most of them are afraid to be up there as well. So do that. The unsexy part is, making a schedule every day and doing the little things you don't like. Oh, I don't like making sales phone calls. I'm not a salesperson. Yes, you are. Oddly enough, I went through the MBA program in 2017 at Concordia University in Irvine. My ripe young age of 50, I got my MBA. They called me back 2 years later to teach the sales MBA class. I'm like, me? They're like, yes, you. It was phenomenal. We had a great time. It was a great class. They called me back again this year to teach again. Like, well, popular demand, the students want you back. I'm like, that's awesome.
Incredible.
But the point of the sales group that I made to these kids is every single one of you is a salesperson. You don't have to be called a salesperson. Are you in a relationship with anybody in your world? Well, yeah. You had a girlfriend or boyfriend? Yeah. You think there's the sales going on in there? Where do you want to eat, honey? Where do you want to eat, honey? That's a sales thing. You're going on. You're selling what you want. You're giving and taking. Sales is always an agreement. It's an agreement between two people, whatever it is. So understand that the process isn't, oh, I'm cold call selling. That's gritty. And then if the ugly hard part too is learn the technology. Oh, I'm not a tech person. I'm not a tech person. My family makes fun of me, but I'm learning enough to be the tech person, or I'm learning and smart enough to know the people that do know it. So keep your daily list. Stay on your daily list. Give yourself the daily wins. Don't go down that rabbit hole of darkness because it'll be there. It'll be calling you. Don't go there. I'm giving you too much information, but the tick boxes, get the schedule and stay on it every day as much as possible. Get those to-dos done, get them checked off your list, learn the things you don't want to learn. Because when you know them and you learn them, then you can pass them off. Then you're good to go. So then you take that next step up, but learn it. And then the uncomfortable, get up on stage, start talking to people. You got to be out there. You got to be the face.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear it right here first. Coach Greg, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. What you do, how you impact communities around you, the work that you're doing to better people's lives, taking a completely different approach than that typical gym in the studio. I love it. Thank you again. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today with Behind the Desk and In Depth with CEOs, VPs, business leaders around the world. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.